the cloud. Would that just be my Zoom account?
No clue.
Just try your computer.
All right. We got it.
Awesome. Yeah, I just got in the mail some, I don't really know how they work, but it's like these sticky traps. So like gnats and stuff will stick to them instead of like being on your plants and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm like, and also keep the tie-dye.
Mine's not really tie-dye-ish, but it's close enough.
It's kind of like a tie-dye.
Wash tie-dye.
Bleach dye, yeah.
A type of dye.
Yes.
We're like, we're gonna die. So that's our theme for today.
Yes, this will be the one and only episode. Surprise. Death is among us.
We're the actual imposters.
Oh man, I love Among Us. I haven't played in quite some time though.
I haven't either. Dude, my little brother Jace is so like into the game. And when he first got the app, he got it on his phone, and every time he was imposter, the app would glitch.
It sucks.
He got to play imposter, and he's like, is it even worth to have the game anymore if I can't even be bad? And I'm like, but he eventually got it fixed because like his iOS needed updated with the app, so it was that. And he's like, oh my gosh, I like being the bad guy.
Don't we all though?
Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes it's good, but it's just the thought of him just being like, I'm happy being the bad guy now. He was just so upset that he wasn't able to be the bad guy. This
is his villain backstory.
Yes. He was tired of being the good guy. He never got the chance.
I love the voice change and everything.
And now he has a vengeance.
I envy people who could just do voice acting.
Oh, I can't. I don't even know how I did that. It's just like, it just comes out. I don't know.
Like, if I could just be a voice actor the rest of my life.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
That would be amazing. Just get paid to talk and like.
What would you want to be a voice actor for if you were? Like, what show would you want to voice act for?
Cartoons. I don't know if I would choose a specific one, but like some sort of cartoon for sure.
Speaking of cartoons, Jace messaged me because me and him, and I think you were a big fan of this series too, Total Drama.
Yes.
They're making another season.
Like, wait, of the Total Drama Island or?
Chris and Chef are coming back, and they're getting so many new, like, contestants.
Wow. See, because I watched, there was Total Drama Island, Total Drama Action.
World Tour.
And World Tour. I didn't like the World Tour as much, and I did not watch when they had, like, the baby version.
The Total Drama Rama, whatever. Yeah, Jace watches those episodes on YouTube all the time. He loves them.
That's so funny. I never got into them because at that point I was like, man, you guys have overdone it. But I really liked, like, the OG season was...
Honestly, their first characters that they had, they should have just kept those and just, like, kept going. Like, they shouldn't have brought any new people. I just felt like they could have made, like, a show with just them.
Like, I am not really one to watch reality TV that much, but, like, it was like...
But that was great.
Yeah, I loved it. Middle school me thrived off of it. Like...
No, but he messaged me saying, like, oh my gosh, they're making a whole new season. And apparently there's, like, 5 or 6 seasons total already.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently they go back to, like, another summer camp with, like, a whole bunch of different people. They have, like, Amazing Race type one. And I'm just like, okay. After World Tour, it just kind of, like, tanked for me a little bit. So I don't have all of my hopes up, but I was, like, the inner me was, like, excited that.
Yeah, by the time World Tour happened, it wasn't as, like with the season 1, it was just so raw and, like, they just did whatever they wanted to. And then, like, you know, as the contestants went on, they were like, this is really crappy for you to be, like, putting us in these terrible situations. Like
They
they
became
would do.
self-aware.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
hey,
So then they
wait.
stopped. They stopped, and I was like, that was the fun part. Like,
Yeah.
it's like
And then
trying to
there was
control Jersey Shore. Like, you just can't do that.
the best of friends that they couldn't tell who was who. So when they voted off Katie or Sadie, they're like, we don't know who to vote off, so we just voted for one of them. And they're like, and then at the end they were like, we didn't want to vote off that one. We wanted to vote off the other one because they couldn't tell their names apart. They're like, we're Katie and Sadie. They're like, okay, well, which one is Katie and which one is Sadie? And they're like, we're Katie and Sadie.
I can't say, like, off the top of my head, I remember which one is which.
I can't either. I know that the skinnier one got voted off. So I think first. So I think they kept Katie, I want to say. I don't know.
I don't remember. I guess we should probably start.
I'm looking this up right now. Which one is
Okay.
Katie and which one is Sadie?
The real question.
Katie was the taller, skinnier one. So I have the names reversed.
Who was your favorite characters?
Oh, I like Shauna and I liked DJ a lot.
Was DJ the one who wore camo?
No, he wore a green, he hung out with Chef a lot. He really wanted to be a cook. He was a mama's boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then we love Shauna. Shauna, a queen. I always made fun. Did we all know a Lindsay? I felt like we all knew a Lindsay. The one that was like, had maybe one brain cell. And she was like, oh my gosh, Chris.
Okay, but when she when Lindsay like what's the right words that I'm trying to think of? Like when she finally stood up to Heather.
Yes.
I was like, yes, girl, like you get it. You tell her what's up. It was so empowering.
The whole situation with Lindsay and Tyler, how she didn't know Tyler's name, and then like when he finally left, she's like, was that Tyler?
Yeah. I think I really liked Shauna.
Shauna
and I
was
also
great.
really liked Gwen.
Gwen was
goth
good.
Girl.
Yes.
Yeah, I really liked her.
Then there was Courtney. I was a CIT.
I'm not gonna say who, but she reminded me of someone from Crawford, and once I made the connection, I was like, I don't like her.
No, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Exactly.
I was a CIT.
It's like, shut up.
Like, nobody cares.
Exactly.
And on that note, welcome to our podcast. All right.
Finally getting to it.
Yeah. All right. So, welcome to our pod. We are known as A&J's No Shame. As of right now, we might think of a new, better name later because that was just the first thing we came up with. Anyway. So, to get a little bit to know about ourselves, we are both college students attending Indiana University in B-Town, Bloomington, Indiana. Go Hoosiers. And we had a game today.
Yeah, it was bad. We lost.
Yeah, it did not turn out well.
It was against number three Michigan, so yeah. I didn't expect.
They did their best.
Yeah.
We're so proud of them.
Still rooting them on. Still in love with them.
And then we are both juniors as of right now.
Yep.
And we are both.
I'm the A.
Yeah, and I'm the J. Hi, Josie. Hello.
Alexis.
And we'll get better with this as time goes on, guys. Please, stick with us real quick. And we both are going into completely different fields with our majors. Would you like to say?
Yeah. My major is astronomy and astrophysics, so space and stuff, I do have 2 minors. I just added a communications minor, but I also have the Slavic and Eastern European languages and cultures minor, which is super fun. It brings a lot of fun classes into my very science-driven major.
Oh,
So
that's a little spice and fanciness on the end of that.
mix it up,
to add to your degree at the end.
Yes.
And I am majoring in sports marketing and management and sports and stuff instead of space and stuff. You got your sports and space and other stuff covered on this podcast.
Yes.
And I only have one minor. I'm minoring in hospitality services, which is like the hotel industry and all that. All that jazz and how that works. And I'm really excited for that.
I honestly might change like my Instagram bio instead of like, I'm pretty sure right now I have it as like astronomy. Like astronomy at IU. I might just say space and stuff.
Space and stuff. What job do you want in the future? Space and stuff.
Yep, that's all.
So what do you plan to be in the future to have our listeners get to know us a little bit better, what we strive, what we want to be?
When I first came to college, I was like, I would love to be an astronaut. And although that would still be amazing, I don't think I really want to go into research. I don't really see myself getting a PhD or anything like that. So the goal right now is science journalism. I think that would be awesome. Or maybe even if not science journalism, I would like to work at an observatory or like a planetarium or something with like the public facing part of it. So
yeah, that's actually like that's cool. Like thinking about that, I'm just like, all I want to be is an athletic director.
Okay, but that's awesome too. Like
because Jerry Hanger was our athletic director at our old high school, and he just made the job so much fun to be with. Because I took his sports officiating class senior year, and just knowing what all he has to go through and like being there for the kids who do sports, I want to do that for kids because we had a good athletic director for us. So I kind of want to do what he did and be like an athletic director / coach. And I think that fits me pretty well. I think because I like sports and I love working with children, so I feel like that's a good fit for me.
I think you're a very good. I don't want to say hype man, but like you're pretty good at like being very like positive, a very happy-go-lucky person. So I think that would be really inspiring to
a good support system. Everybody needs a good support system.
Exactly.
And I want to be that for children who love sports. So,
exactly.
Okay. And we come from a very, very small town. I'm Marengo, and you are Milltown? Yes. And we both very, very, very small towns in Crawford County, Indiana, which is, for the past few years, the poorest county in Indiana. And it's either the poorest or it's either like the second or third poorest, which is kind of upsetting. But knowing that almost 60% of our land we can't even live on because it's national forest, it kind of explains why. Yeah,
it's hard to bring in a lot of income and stuff because like so many national forests, state forests, stuff like that. I mean, the government gets that money. We don't.
Yeah, and you can't build on it because it's government property.
Yeah.
So you can't build new stuff, and then like the stuff that we have isn't like top tier. Like we have to go like drive 30 minutes to the county over to go to a Walmart.
Yep.
We can go to English and it's a small JC store, but that's basically it if we want groceries. Or you can go to the $3 generals that we have in the county that they just pop up anywhere. They're everywhere now.
Yeah. If you want fresh food, it's more likely go to JC. Mm-hmm. If you're more so into like quicker meals, box, you could do the Dollar General, but there's not a lot of variety.
No. And if you want shopping, you have to drive another 15 minutes to get to Clarksville or Louisville, around that area. So that tells you where we live. So
I like telling people that we don't have like a hospital or like a stoplight or
we have no stoplight. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we don't have any stoplights.
We have caution lights.
Caution. Don't we only have like 2 or 3 caution lights?
Yeah, I think
in the county. Yeah. We have stop signs.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and we don't even have a lot of those. So
yeah. But what's weird is like we don't have these like very necessary things, but you know what we do have? We do have a fireworks shop, and we do have a cotton candy factory, and we do have like, those are the two that I usually reference.
We have 2 caves. There's 4 caves in Indiana total, and 2 of them are in our county.
What's up?
I did that research last summer for a project we had to do, because one of my projects was I had to come up with ideas to revamp Wyandotte Cave, and my ideas didn't necessarily get turned down. They got pushed back to after I was done working with them over the summer. So he's like, I'm gonna take what you did and I'm gonna bring it up in the meeting, but you can't come to the meeting because you won't be working and you'll be at school. I was like, dang, I came up with all these cool ideas and everything. Because you know how like Moringo Cave at the end, they have like that big shop where you can get everything. I was like kind of looking at it like that, and having like a whole little virtual like cave tour if you can't, and then like where you can dig up fossils and stuff and like make your own stalactites and stalagmites. Like I was thinking like some stuff like that, and I was just like, I never got the chance to explain.
That'd be so cool. I got to go to Wyandotte Cave when they reopened it a couple years ago. Yeah, it was like the first summer that they reopened it. Me and my family were like, oh yes, let's go. And it was just so wholesome. I was like, it was like so, I don't want to say inspiring, but it was so cool to be like some of the first people to go back into the cave after the whole bat situation. So
yeah. And since I had to do that for our project, he sent me and Caitlin Little and Savannah Saltzgaver all to Wyandotte Cave, and we got a tour. And I kept hitting my head on the wall because I'm taller than Caitlin and Savannah by like a few inches, and they didn't have to duck. I had to keep ducking, and if I didn't duck, I hit my head every single time. I'm happy I had a helmet, or I'd definitely have a concussion.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'6" 3/4", but 5'7".
Yeah, so you're probably a little bit taller than the average female, but like,
oh yeah,
shorter than the average male. So
yeah,
if you are, you know, shorter than the average male, maybe you can fit without hitting your head, but otherwise might have to do some ducking.
Yeah, the average height for a female is 5'4".
I was gonna guess 5'5", so
yeah, and basically 5'7".
Yeah. I'm 5'2" on a good day, so
hey, fun sized.
Yeah. Yep.
Average height for a male is 5'9".
What'd you say?
The average height for a male is 5'9".
Yep.
5'9".
I did know that.
And yet women are like, we want our men 6 foot minimum.
I don't get it.
For me, I'm just like, if you're 5'8" and over, I'm fine. As long as you're taller than me.
Yeah, that's the thing is I feel like
love too.
Yes. I feel like it's not hard to be taller than me. So if it's questionable, I'm kind of questioning it.
Could you imagine a 5'2.5"? You're not coming up to you and be like, what's up?
I know some guys who have tried dating me and they're pretty short, which that wasn't why I wasn't attracted to them.
Yeah, but I think I know one of them that you're thinking about. Is it
yeah.
AP?
Yeah.
Like initials? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one goes to IU. I had some classes with him. So you probably wouldn't know this one.
Okay. Dang. Can you imagine, like, I roll up on campus and I, like, meet this dude and I'm just, hello, looking down.
And the thing is, the guy at IU, he's like, I don't know if this is just one of his things, but like he likes to work out. So he is short and he's like pretty stocky. So like, which is fine, do whatever. But it's just so awkward when I talk to him. It was just, I don't know. It was just a different conversation. That'll be for a different day.
It's different. In talking about Indiana, this leads us to our first topic. And we're calling this topic, That's Illegal? Question mark? And basically, we're going to go over weird Indiana laws and facts and about what you can't do in Indiana. And we're just going to, like, see if we've actually seen this in person and be like, oh, that was illegal? Be like, what? we witnessed something. All right, so the first one on this list is waitresses may not carry drinks into a restaurant or a bar.
Like from outside?
I think, yeah, coming outside to inside, I think. Yeah, waitresses may not carry drinks into a restaurant or a bar.
Huh, that's weird.
That one needs more explaining. Okay, hotel sheets must be exactly 99 inches long and 81 inches wide.
Okay, I can't say I've taken like a
Measuring tape or a ruler with you on a trip to a hotel room and be like, if this is 100 inches long.
and I don't like usually if I stay in a hotel, it's not in Indiana.
Yeah.
So I guess if I know someone coming to stay in Indiana, I'll be like, take your tape science, take your tape measure and measure this for me because I need to know.
It has to be exactly 91 inches long by 81 inches wide.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, this one's about a puppet show. Are you ready for this one? If any person has a puppet show with wire dancing or tumbling acts in the state of Indiana and receives money for it, they will be fined $3 under the Act of Prevent Certain Immoral Practices.
Who decided that like that was an immoral practice?
Could it connect to like witchcraft and stuff? Could it connect from that being like immoral practices? Because you know, like the whole like Annabelle stuff, like that freaked people out.
Yeah,
So
and I guess
portraying that to kids and getting paid for it is like, nope, nah, immoral.
yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe like you know, they're controlling
Yeah.
the dolls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like witchcraft is probably the best guess for that one.
I feel like the witchcraft is like the main purpose of anything where it's like, oh, if you control something where it looks like you're not controlling it, it's witchcraft.
Do you remember that ball toy? Yeah.
I love Fushigis.
I never had one, but every time I saw it in the commercial, I was like, that is so cool. Like,
I don't know who, but somebody from Milltown had one and they brought it. And I don't know who, but somebody broke it.
was it AP? Was it Aaron?
I think AP had it, and I think somebody broke it. Like, I think somebody dropped it and it just split, like, on the floor. And we were all just, like, very upset. AP was crying in tears. And I just remember somebody yelling, Fushi! Like, as it was falling down. Just like, Fushi!
Oh.
Could you imagine just like a 7-8-year-old kid screaming, Fushigi!
Could you imagine that, like having like that as like a video clip, and showing it to someone from like the 1960s?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
they put you on the stake immediately. They'll be like, nope, burn at stake now.
yeah, they'd be like, some sort of language that doesn't sound like English. Yeah. That must be terrible.
Okay, next one is anyone 14 or older who profanely curses, damns, or swears by the name of God, Jesus Christ, or the Holy Ghost shall be fined $1 to $3 for each offense with a maximum fine of $10 per day. Per day.
Honestly, if I saw like an officer enforcing this, I would be like, you are bored with your job.
The officer of God. That officer is trying to meet his requirements at the end of how many tickets he has to give out. So he's like, all right, I'm going to count how many cuss words he has, and that's how many tickets I'm going to give this guy.
I mean, I've definitely heard people cuss and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine just being like, you're having a nice ride home, and then you just cuss because an officer is about to pull you over, and you're like, well, bleep, officer, how are you doing tonight? And then he's like, fined. And you're like, wait, what?
I'd be like, really?
In the name of God. And then Loki's like, I'm just trying to meet my requirements. You just have to pay me. Just pay
the pettiness level. Yes. If a cop did that.
Okay. There's a $3 fine per pack will impose on anyone playing cards in Indiana under the Act of Prevention of Gaming. There's a $3 fine per pack that will be imposed on anyone playing cards in Indiana.
What do you mean?
So I guess that I have no clue. The way they worded this is very weird. Okay,
Yeah, it's not.
per pack will be imposed on anyone's playing cards in Indiana under the Act of Prevention of Gaming.
Here, can you? I want to see what it says. Like, or I want to see all of the list. Can you send the link in the chat?
Yeah, I got you. Joe Cappy. Where's the chat feature? Hello? Oh, right there. Sorry.
No worries.
And paste, enter. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Got it.
Just the way it was worded, it was just like weird. Okay. So we're gonna look over that one because that one was worded very weirdly. So the next one is, it is illegal for a man to be sexually aroused in public.
Yeah, but how are you gonna know? Anyways.
I think you're gonna know.
Okay, but like, what if it's not obvious? Like, or like, what if it is super obvious? Like, are you gonna like pull them aside and be like, you are
"Sir."
committing a crime? Like, imagine that being like on your like criminal record.
Sir, calm down. You need to calm down, sir. Oh, the next one. One may not sniff glue. I think every 5-year-old has done this.
Yeah, I wonder if that means like huff it. Like,
maybe. But just the way it just says one may not sniff glue.
Sniff, exactly, yeah, like.
Every child has done this. Every adult as a child has done this. Like, everyone has done this.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, that's what kindergartners do. That's like one of the 4 actions that they'll
Arts
do.
and crafts was the best part of any day.
Yeah. So many crayons and markers and glue and popsicle sticks everywhere.
Okay, next one. I'm gonna skip the next one on the list because this next one is like very like, wait, what? Baths may not be taken between the months of October and March.
I wonder, thinking about this, I wonder if this list is like, they're not, I wonder if they're still instilled today. Like, what if that was just like,
I bet you in some places they could be, and then other places that they're like, it's whatever.
But like, where would that be still a thing?
I don't know. Because I've definitely broke that law many of times.
I think
Personally.
anybody has. Like,
I guess I've never broken any of these laws mentioned whatsoever.
Yeah, for legal reasons, I have not broken
any. For legal reasons, I have not broken anything.
But, I mean,
just broken nothing. I broke nothing.
I do like taking baths in winter months.
Baths are fun.
Yeah.
With bath bombs. But don't use bath bombs religiously. In the name of God, don't. But because that's bad for your feminine health care.
Yes. You should not be using bath bombs.
Yeah. Tips from girls: don't use bath bombs often because it's not healthy.
PSA, yes.
PSA. All right. It is illegal to sell cars on Sunday. I know this only because I worked at the gas station over the last summer, and we couldn't sell alcohol before noon, and we stopped selling it at 8 o'clock because it's like the blue law or whatever it's called.
But this says cars.
Well, cars is the same thing because it's like the holy day.
Oh, so you just mean like anything?
Yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff that you can't sell on Sunday because it's like it all goes underneath the same law.
There are like certain. What's weird is like if you're from a state that's not a law, and you come to a state that is a law. It's funny to hear people talk about like dry counties and wet counties.
Oh yeah,
because they're like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, with like alcohol.
Times from Kentucky, people coming up from Kentucky just being like, "Wait, this is." I'm like, "Wait, let me hear that again."
Yeah, it's a weird adjective to use. So,
all right. The next one, oral sex is illegal. PG-13 stream, kids. PG-13 stream.
I just don't know how they could even, like, what's the right word?
How would you know? Like,
yeah, I don't know if it means like publicly, but I feel like any sort of
publicly
sexual...
because if it's privately, then how
are
would
they
you
gonna
know?
Exactly.
Are they sneaking up to your windows every night being like, sir, ma'am, are you good? Okay.
Yeah, because I think any sort of like sexual act or nudity in public is illegal. So like, of course this one is going to be, but like otherwise how would they even know?
Yeah. All right, next one. A man over the age of 18 may be arrested for statutory rape if the passenger in his car is not wearing her socks and shoes and is under the age of 17. So
that's jumping to conclusions if I've ever heard one.
If you're 18 and older and let's say like it's a guy and a girl best friend and the guy's driving and the girl just wants to take off her shoes and like she was just wearing flip-flops and he gets pulled over and then the officer sees that and she's under like, say like he's 18 and she's 16. Like say it's like that. And then an officer pulls him over for like going over the speed limit. And then he sees that. It's like.
Well, and like, it's so vague too, because like, imagine like road trips or like siblings or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that one you need to like dig into more. Okay. Do you want to say a few?
Sure.
All right.
So the next one, this is funny. It is against the law to pass a horse on the street. And, in Crawford, there are Amish communities.
Yeah. So we see horse and buggies all the time.
I have not definitely done this. But, and since it's more of a rural place, people own horses and stuff like that. So I've seen people, literally, I don't know why, but people sometimes ride horses through the street, on back roads and stuff.
We've had people drive tractors to school. We've had tractor days for Spirit Week. That's not the weirdest thing we've seen. And also when they know when you have horse and buggies, they pull over to the side of the road. Because they know they're not as fast as a car would be. So they're smart enough to be like, okay, we'll go over to the side of the road.
Especially on highways and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. This one's funny. It is illegal for a liquor store to sell cold soft drinks. I wonder why. So many backstories on this. I would love to hear.
The gas station that I worked at Patoka Station, we had alcohol, but not the hard alcohol. We just had, we had the soft stuff. And we had cold soft drinks in the back, but our alcohol wasn't cold. It was hot alcohol. It was room temp. And people were like, you're not allowed to, you don't have any cold. We're like, we're not allowed to sell cold since we have cold soft drinks. You can have either room temp soft drinks and cold alcohol, or you can have room temp alcohol and cold soft drinks.
If I were to become a entrepreneur and own a gas station, I would break so many laws on accident. I don't even. Yeah. And the next one, liquor stores may not sell milk. How else are you going to make a White Russian? Come on now.
I guess the gas station isn't technically breaking this law because it's a gas station and not an exact liquor store because they do sell milk. They sell half gallons and full gallons. But yeah, grocery stores may not sell any type of cold liquor. Yeah. That kind of just goes with it.
Yeah, thinking back, I don't think I've ever seen a grocery store with cold liquor.
You have to have a very, very specific license for it.
Yeah.
That's what I learned while working at the gas station. All right, I'll get the next one. You can get out of paying for a dependent's medical care by praying for him / her or them.
I feel like this could be used in a lot of Indiana counties that are more religious, honestly.
Yeah. You can get out of paying for a dependent's medical care by praying for them.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
You got COVID? I'm going to pray for you so I don't have to pay anything. Okay. Win. Not
this
a win.
Next one is funny. One man may not back into a parking spot because it prevents police officers from seeing the license plate. I know so many confident men, shout out to my dad, who like to reverse into parking spots because it is easier to pull out from a parking spot like that.
And we learned how to do this in driver's ed, so why is it illegal if we have to learn it in driver's ed?
I actually didn't do that in driver's ed. I had to parallel park with Ori.
Oh, I had to parallel park with Corey and Carrie. And I also had to back in with both of them. Ori, she would always go hard on her brakes on her side because the way driver's ed cars works, you have brakes on both sides. And I think she also had a gas pedal on her side too, which is like scary to think of because it's like if she needs you to speed up, she does it, and you're just like if you're not seeing it coming, it's just scary. Yeah. And I just remember I was merging because it was like the first time I ever drove on the interstate. So I was merging to get on the interstate. She's like, you need to go faster. And she didn't see a car coming behind me. And she full on gas pedal. And I had to put double feet on my brake because I was like, oh, Ori, there's a car. And she was like, oh, sorry. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, oh.
Honestly, one of the best things about driver's ed though was being able to drive wherever and get ice cream or fast food or something.
Go to the local Corvette. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, next one. Smoking in the state legislature building is banned except when legislature is in session. So you can't smoke in the building when when everyone's doing their business, but if they have a meeting, smoking is allowed.
I don't get that one either.
All right.
Okay, I think I'm gonna skip the next one just because it seems I wouldn't do it. Pedestrians crossing the highway at night are prohibited from wearing tail lights.
But how are you supposed You need to see them though.
I mean, I thought any sort of crossing of any street where there's not a crosswalk is jaywalking, and I thought jaywalking was illegal.
Yeah.
So how are they going to allow this and then say, but don't use protective gear?
Yeah, for real. Okay, the next one. No one may catch a fish with their bare hands. I like how they specified and said his bare hands because they know a woman wouldn't do this, or anybody for that matter wouldn't do this.
I know a lot of people from Crawford who have done this.
Yeah, same.
Crawford, you better watch yourself.
Yeah. The cops are coming for you, but men are prohibited from standing in a bar.
Imagine if I dressed as an undercover cop or something and just goes around the bars and be like, sir, that is illegal.
You just start handing out tickets, be like, that's illegal. You come up to them and hit on them, quote unquote, and then you just whisper and be like, that's illegal. And then you leave. Just
back away into the dark.
They're like, wait.
Okay, drinks on the house are illegal. I feel like that's in every movie ever. That is
yeah. Whenever somebody celebrates, they're like, drinks on me, and everybody celebrates in the bar. But
I want you to know, Josie, now that we're 21, if Mark Cuban is ever in Bloomington,
we need to go.
We are going to the bars because I know he's going to pull something like that. Plus, I just want to meet Mark Cuban. That would be awesome. But
can we have fake tickets too and be like, that was illegal, Mark Cuban?
He would just be like, ha, 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 and just walk. He would be like, I am worth billions of dollars. Please leave me alone.
Be like, we're sorry. Listen to our podcast, please. Okay. Drinking from your own bottle in a bar can lead to your arrest?
I feel like that makes sense. Just because I don't know of any place where you can bring in your own alcohol.
Oh, that's true.
It's actually a public business kind of.
For a second, I thought you get a drink at a bar and you drink from your own bottle. That's what I was thinking of. I was like, how can that lead to my arrest? How is that illegal?
Yeah,
I got this drink. I'm going to drink it.
Yeah, no, I think it means smuggling things in. Mm-hmm. Okay, you are required to pour your drink into a glass. That is very vague. Where, when, why?
Do you see me right now?
In my own house? Am I supposed to be pouring things in the... What if I don't even have a glass on hand?
I've been drinking from this McDonald's cup the whole podcast so far, so I'm just well... Sorry.
I love drinking out of Pizza X cups. Those are plastic. Plug to Pizza X.
Pizza X.
But that's not a glass.
Potential sponsor, Pizza X. Hello.
Yeah, please.
Potential sponsor.
I would do a whole episode on that.
Oh, yes. Spiteful gossip and talking behind a person's back is illegal. Wow, every high school is about to be filled with cops.
Could write a couple charges up to some people right now.
Could you imagine, like, cops did this every day. They show up to high schools and be like, all right, what's the gossip today?
What is the tea?
And they report back to their officer buddies and be like, did you hear what happened at Paoli High School?
They just want to say this and be able to hear about the tea. They don't even care.
They want to know what's going down in Crawford County, because Crawford County is small enough. Everybody who's in Crawford County knows everybody who's in Crawford County. Everyone knows everyone.
The next one. State government officials who engage in private duels can be dismissed from their post. Okay, the thing is, I understand, like, a duel can be a lot of different things, but could you imagine? I always think of duels as the same exact thing. Two guys on a horse with their protective gear, with those, like,
lances?
Like jousting?
They're jousting.
Like, that's
what it like that. I took it as fencing. So we're kind of in the same realm. And they go, oh my God.
Like,
oh my gosh. All
that's
right.
so funny. Well, that means that I should never ever become a state government official in Indiana, because if I need to defend myself through a private duel, I'm going to
joust. All males 18 to 15 years old must work 6 days a year on public roads. Huh?
What's
No.
that mean?
Work 6 days a year on public roads.
Does that mean, like, I mean, work usually means getting paid for something, but I would think that's some sort of, like, community service, like cleaning up the roads, because, like, not everyone has that, like, training to work on the actual roads.
Mustaches are illegal if the bearer has a tendency to habitually kiss other humans.
So anyone out there whose partner has mustaches and they don't like it, and you
in
live
the state of Indiana, it's illegal. Tell them
show
to shave
them
it.
this. Yeah, show them this and be like, sorry, you can't kiss me with a mustache, or I'm gonna have to report you to
law. Law. Here it is. Okay, now further down on the list, they're getting to, like, specific, like, places. Like, this next one is in Beech Grove. It is forbidden to eat watermelon in a park.
I know there's a backstory on all of these, and I would love to know.
There has to be, because what did watermelon do to Beech Grove? Like, I just want to know, because watermelon's good. I like watermelon.
I'm sure it would be so funny if, like, in Beech Grove, like, maybe not elementary schools, middle schools and high schools, they, like, teach about, like, the great watermelon debate of, like, 1937 or something.
Do you know ours would be how we became known as the bug eaters. Like, Crawford County, our nicknames, people give us nicknames of the bug eaters. And that would, like, their talk about watermelon would be our talk about how we became known as the bug eaters.
I've heard some stories. My dad has told me some stories. I don't know how truthful they are, just because
one of the
rumors.
The one I've heard from my dad before, like, my whole family situation happened, was that somebody from Corden and somebody from North Harrison and somebody from Crawford were just hanging around, and somebody bet the dude from Crawford to eat a bug, and then he ate it, and then they were just like bug eaters, and that's just how it went.
Yeah, I heard something also. I don't know if it's like I don't remember if it was in the same conversation. It was probably just because we were talking about this and we were like, oh, by the way, this also happened. Supposedly, the reason why North Harrison hates Crawford so much, or, like, there's, like, a rivalry, is because during one of, like, I guess the basketball games, someone went into their bus and it poured, like, I don't know if it was honey or, like, something like that all over their seats, and then let chickens loose. Like, yeah, that probably makes me mad. I don't know.
Dude, Crawford County was pranksters, bro.
I wish.
We pulled good pranks.
Honestly, yeah.
Then our senior prank was hide a whole bunch of business cards around the school. And then teachers were like, we're going to make this, like, a challenge. The many cards you have, the more power bucks you get. And we're like, no, our senior prank is supposed to be a senior prank. Get pranked, bro. Don't turn this around on us.
It literally made me mad when the teachers did that. I was like, literally, you're just like, not having a good time,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of is frustrating. But
What I loved about it though is that my mom and Miss Minton played along with it, and then they would rehide them.
Yeah, or they would give them back to some of the seniors.
Yeah.
I definitely know of a handful of cards that they're not going to find until walls fall down and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Okay, next one. In Elkhart, it is illegal for barbers to threaten to cut off kids' ears.
You stop moving. Got it. You gotta stop moving, or your ear's about to come off.
Can you imagine? I think this could have I feel like a barber did this, and some kid just started screaming bloody murder, please no, you know what I mean? And they're like, you can't do that anymore.
And then they got a noise complaint, and police showed up. Because I've heard that before. Be like, if you stop moving, your ear's about to come off. Be like, you don't quit moving, that ear's about to come off. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Growing up. All right, in Evansville, while driving on Main Street, you may not have your lights on. What if it's at the middle of the night?
I wonder if Main Street is I don't know, because Main Street is capitalized, you know?
Oh, okay. I was about to say, there have to be so many lights up there if I can't drive down there in the middle of the night with my lights on.
Yeah. In Fort Wayne, you may not sell or play on a radio broadcast the record. It's in the book.
May not sell or play on a radio broadcast the record. It's in the book. No.
It must be I wonder if it means a record,
Oh, okay.
And it's maybe the title of the record.
Okay.
I don't know.
In Gary, within 4 hours of eating garlic, a person may not enter a movie, house, theater, or ride a public streetcar.
I wish this was illegal everywhere.
Bro, what if I was just trying to eat my garlic bread and now I'm like, I can't even go to a movie. I can't even ride in the streetcar.
Okay, but have you ever been in a filled movie theater? Could you imagine if every person surrounding you had just eaten garlic? No, you would be dying.
I gag just thinking about it.
Exactly.
Oh, here we go. State capital in Indy. Hopefully, residents of the city have speedometers on their houses where they cannot ride them in excess of 10 miles per hour. Oh, horses. I said
horses.
It's houses can't move.
So horses cannot run through Indy.
I said houses. Could you imagine just a house going?
Our house is on the run.
That is your refrigerator running to a whole new level. My house is running, dude, not just my refrigerator.
Also in Indy.
Be like, can you imagine if a house is moving at 8 miles per hour? Be like, oh, it's fine. It's not.
Questionable, but okay. And also in Indy, one may only throw a stone at a bird in self-defense. And, I know the bird in question has to be a goose or a duck. It has to be. People hate geese. They are aggressive birds.
They come at you hard. All right. In Indy also, no person may collect rags on a Sunday. You can collect rags on a random Tuesday, but just not on a Sunday.
Who are they collecting rags from? That's what I don't get.
I don't know.
In South Bend, it is illegal to make a monkey smoke a cigarette. Who forced a monkey to smoke a cigarette?
Could you imagine, this is, South Bend has a zoo, and then they just, you go to that zoo and you just see a monkey smoking a cigarette. Be like, I didn't make the monkey do it. He did it himself.
Who made this monkey start smoking?
Okay, he did it himself. He did it himself. All right, in Terre Haute, no one may spit on a sidewalk.
Terre Haute's, no shade to people in Terre Haute, but Terre Haute's not the cleanest place, so.
No, it's not.
How would they even know? The last one, in Warsaw, no one may throw an old computer across the street at their neighbor.
So can I throw a newer model? Can I throw a newer model? Just be like.
A laptop.
Can I throw my MacBook? Just be like.
I would love to hear the backstory behind this one.
You just hear, one day, my neighbor, his name was Drew. He had the old PC. I was just walking my dog across the street one day and it just came out of nowhere. Drew with the right hook and
Just
next thing I know, I'm woken up next to a keyboard and a PC lying on the ground. House on top of my forehead.
I couldn't.
All right, so what we learned from this is that Indiana is very weird and very specific about things.
For sure. For
Like,
no good reason.
I feel like we should do this with every state. I'm happy we started off with ours, but I think we should do this with like, oh, I want to learn what's illegal to do in like Wyoming where there's absolutely nothing to do.
Yes. That would be super cool.
Because you don't hear a lot of stuff happening in Wyoming. Maybe it's like stuff to do with like a bunch of like mooses. I think
the plural is moose.
Moose. I think that's it, but I was just wanting to say like all the possible answers it could have been to be like, how's my mom an English teacher? I don't know.
And could you imagine doing like New York where literally everything is possible? Like,
can you imagine? It's illegal to have a pigeon smoke a cigarette. Pigeons can't smoke blunts. That's pretty much.
Ugh.
Hey, he's walking there. He's walking here.
I like the New York accent trying to.
Hey, I'm walking here. Okay.
I looked up moose on, so I have the Merriam-Webster dictionary app because there's a lot of words that I don't know and I like knowing them and it's easier than using the internet, whatever. So I looked up moose and the plural is moose.
Okay. So listeners, you just learned with me the plural for moose.
Yes.
Okay. So that is the end of that's a legal topic. And we're next up with our counterfeit mega hit. It's a new thing that we're coming up with, and a lot of people don't know Alexis has never seen any of the Harry Potter movies or read the books. So she has very limited knowledge on all things Harry Potter. So I'm gonna give her a very vague, I went easier on you for this one for the synopsis, but you're gonna tell me which Harry Potter movie this is. There's 8 total. You can just be like, oh, this is, if you know the titles of the movies, I'll give you a bonus point. If you're just like, oh, it's like the 5th one. Then
I only know one title of any of the Harry Potters.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna give numbers.
Okay, so this is the synopsis that I've come up with for today. I went easy on you. I'm just giving you that now because as this goes on, if we get to like the very like last of the Harry Potters, I'm just gonna be like, boy kills this. Just be like that. It'll be like 3 or 4 words. Okay, so I gave you like a little paragraph. A 14-month-old orphan left at the doorstep of horrible relatives has the worst beginning to his life, but what makes him happy? He gets accepted into a fancy boarding school. That makes him different. And what he faces off against a troll, a 3-headed dog, as well as the darkest wizard in the world while trying to keep up his grades, his friendships active, and his spot on a sports team. And this is only just his first year.
That has to be the favorite.
It's the first one. Do you know the title?
No.
What's the title of the movie that you know?
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
That's the first one.
Oh, really?
I don't know the title for the first one. It says title of first one.
I didn't know it was the first
That's
one.
correct. Okay. So we are going to be giving you questions based off of said movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So first question is, what is the name of the fancy boarding school that Harry Potter goes to?
Hogwarts.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going easier and then it's getting harder as we go on because I wanted to go easy on the first podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, what are the 4 Hogwarts houses for question number 2?
I think I can do 3. I don't know if I can do the last
one.
Okay.
Do as many as you can.
Slytherin.
Yes.
Gryffindor or something like that.
Yeah, Gryffindor.
Hufflepuff or Hugglepuff.
Hufflepuff, yes.
I don't know the last one.
Okay. It's a type of bird that Edgar Allan Poe made a poem about, is the first part.
Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I know it.
I wanted to give you, okay. This have fun with this one. How many Weasley children are there?
Oh,
name as many as you can.
I'm pretty sure there's like a lot.
How many is a lot?
Like over 10.
Mm-mm.
That's just a guess. Not that many?
Nope, not that many.
8 then. Dang. 5.
More than that.
6.
Nope.
7.
Yep, there's 7. There's 7 children.
I only know Ron Weasley, but I'm pretty sure there's a set of twins.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know.
Okay, so do you want me to tell you the names of them? I'm gonna go from oldest to youngest. Okay, what?
If you feel like it.
Okay, we're just gonna tell you. All right, so the oldest, you got Bill. He is mentioned in the books and he's showed in the movies a few times, but besides that, you don't really know a lot about him unless you read the books, which you should, by the way. Charlie is the second oldest, badass, not mentioned in the movies at all, but mentioned in the books. He comes in on a dragon and it's awesome. He's my favorite, even though he's not mentioned at all. He's a dragon tamer pretty much. Percy, school prefect. Everybody like literally does everything like according to the rules. You got your twins, Fred and George, set of twins, jokesters. This is actually the joke shop that they have.
Nice.
And then you got Ron, and then the youngest you have Ginny, who is the only daughter.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's the youngest too. Okay. What exactly is Quidditch, like sport-wise? So their Quidditch is compared to our what? Like what?
Kind of like basketball, I guess.
Nope.
Is it like, what's the,
No, it's not that.
the one with the weird net
No.
thing?
Nope. It's explained in the book that Quidditch is basically magic of this, and it's this sport specifically.
Wait, what's the one where you? I don't know what it's. I'm really bad at sport names. This is the one where.
This isn't like a very like extravagant sport. It's like we know the name of.
I don't know then.
Okay, it's soccer.
You know, I kept thinking that, but I was like, that doesn't even really make sense. Because I'm pretty sure the scene that I've seen with Quidditch is like one of the only scenes I've ever seen of Harry Potter.
And how many positions are on a Quidditch team?
Yeah, that's a great question.
How many can be on a field at a time?
I don't think that many. I'm gonna just guess 5.
More.
10.
Less than that.
I tried. 8.
The total is 7 positions.
So weird.
There's a keeper who is like the goaltender, a seeker who is the person who tries to get the golden snitch, which gives you 150 points. There's 2 beaters on the team where they have like wooden bats and they hit these thing called bludgers and they try to hit the other opponents with them. And then you have 3 chasers, which is like the people who try to score for your team.
So what I've gotten out of this so far is Harry Potter has a lot of 7s.
Yeah. You could say that. All right. We have the Golden Trio, who are Harry Potter's best friends.
Well, Ron is one of them.
Yeah, that's one.
And I don't know her name. I can see her. It's Emma Watson. I don't know who she plays.
Ron Weasley and Emma Watson.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you that. You named the actress. Her name's Hermione Granger.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Question 6. What is the name of the wand shop where Harry got his wand?
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right. Bonus points if you can name how many wands Harry went through before he got destined with the wand that he has.
4.
No.
I feel like that's an undershot by a lot.
It's overshot, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
2.
He went through 2 other wands because 3rd time was literally the charm. because
That's
it's
funny.
magic.
Yeah.
And the name of the wand shop is named Ollivanders.
Ollivanders. Yeah, I never would have got that.
All right. What's a muggle? Just the look on your face of pure panic.
Well, I feel like I'm in class and there's like a pop quiz that I have not been paying attention in class to. Like, this is what this feels like.
Oh, I've been there many of times. I've never been in this position though, where I know everything and I'm just like, I know. I've never been in that position.
I have no idea what a muggle is. I've heard of it, but I can't even visualize what it might be.
You are a muggle.
A regular person?
Non-magical folk. Yes.
Nice.
Right. What is the shape of the scar on Harry's forehead?
A lightning bolt. I do know that one.
Do you want to know a cool fact?
Let's hear it.
The lightning bolt is actually the way that the killing curse is made. Like, that's the wand movements. So it looks like a lightning bolt, and it's also like the name, like the killing curse.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. What happened to Harry's parents?
Something bad, I'm sure.
What exactly, like, bad thing happened?
Wait, I do have a question.
Yes.
If it's allowed.
Okay.
What time period is this supposed to be? Just like modern time? Like
Harry was born in 1980.
Okay. I'm gonna guess a car wreck.
Here's the thing. That was the cover story of what they told Harry what happened to his parents. So I'm gonna give you like a half a point, like in friendship points, because that's I'm proud. How'd you? They were murdered by Voldemort. He was 14 months old when it happened. If you didn't know, yeah. And question 10: what is the occupation of Hermione's Muggle parents? If you hear the name Hermione Granger and you know that her parents are basically non-magical, what do you think their jobs would be? I want to hear what you think they do.
Yeah, I have no idea, so I'm just gonna guess what I could see a occupation being in this genre. Clockmaking.
What?
Clockmaking.
Clock. Okay. Okay.
Like watches and stuff. Clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's they were dentists.
That's odd.
Yeah, they were both dentists. Okay. So that was all the questions that I have for this. Is there any questions that you have for me that I can answer for right now? Be like.
So I'll only ask one question because I'm sure you figured out really early in the movie, and I don't want the movies to be like completely spoiled. Yeah. Do Hermione, Ron, and Harry meet on the train?
Do they meet on the train
station? Or did they know each other beforehand?
Harry and Ron met on the train because Harry couldn't get onto the platform. So the Weasley family helped him on. So they sat together on the train. And then they meet Hermione because she is helping Neville because Neville lost his toad. Because you get a pet or an animal and he chose a toad and he lost it. So she was helping him. And then she's like, have any of you seen a toad? And then they're like, yeah, that's how they met.
Nice.
Okay. So for our next podcast, would you like to be asked again over a different Harry Potter movie, or would you like to ask me about the potential list that we have that I have not seen?
I think I would like to ask some questions.
Okay, so I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, any of the Mission Impossibles. I've seen The Hobbit, X-Men, Mad Max, Fast and Furious, Star Wars, Divergent, Star Trek, Indiana Jones, Twilight. You can never get me to watch Twilight, ever. James Bond, I've technically seen Back to the Future, but I can't think back and like know what happened to save me. If like they held me at gunpoint and be like, tell me what happened in Back to the Future, I'd be like, I don't know. And then Die Hard, Alien, Terminator, and the Rocky/Creed series. I have not seen any of those.
Honestly, I've not seen a lot of those, but I have seen Back to the Future, the whole trilogy. I love it. So
okay.
I will question you. I can do the trilogy. I can do the trilogy, or I can do
either one. Either one.
I love those movies, so I'm all about it.
I've watched them and I've sat down and watched them, but I just can't, like, for the life of me, remember what happens. The only thing I remember is, like, because in 2016, the Cubs won the World Series, and they predicted in 2015 that the Cubs would win the World Series, so they were 1 year off. That was the only thing I remember from the whole movie, like, all three movies.
Yeah, there's a lot. I can definitely pull in some good questions, so.
Yeah. All right, so one thing to end this podcast on, what's one topic that you would like to talk about? Because I know yesterday we both had things come up about ghost stories.
Yeah.
And would you like to talk about those on this pod, or would you like to talk about, oh, I have an idea. As I'm explaining, we should do this. Another one. We can talk about potential things we could do for this podcast. So what me and Alexis have come up with is movies like that we're going over now that we did today, like movies that we've never seen, ask us questions about it, and think, oh, what do you think happens in the Harry Potter movies? Give me your synopsis of all 8 movies.
All 8? Oh my goodness. I have
just an outline. Just give me what you think would happen.
Well, because I know that there are like houses and I know like some of the bad people, I feel like they go to Hogwarts, and because they're so young, it's kind of like middle school for them, and they end up like finding themselves and becoming, I don't know, obviously I feel like Harry's going to be like a great wizard. Mm-hmm. I don't really know about Hermione or Ron, how they're going to compare to him. I feel like Hermione, she's always seen as like a smart character in Harry Potter. So I feel like she's going to be really good. I feel like Harry Potter ends up like defeating his enemy. I mean, like Voldemort, like just because, I mean, he killed his parents. So obviously there's like a vengeance, and that's my guess. And he has to go through all these different tasks to learn how to be like the best wizard.
Like all these side quests.
Literally, yeah.
Oh.
That's my guess.
Okay. So we're going to remember this, like a synopsis of all 8 of the movies, and then one day I'm going to just sit with you and have you watch these movies with me when we hang out one day. And then we're going to be like, all right, how far off or how like on point were you with this? Look back on it.
What did I expect, or what was totally like a blind side?
Yeah, for sure. All right. So what else are we going to talk about on this pod in the future? Would you like to start off with some of the ideas you came up with?
Sure. I definitely think we should talk about the whole ghost situation, just because it's super interesting, and I feel like a lot of people, even if they don't have like firsthand experience, they're usually either skeptical to ghosts or they're really interested in it. So like that would be cool. Yeah. We kind of touched on it, but very briefly yesterday. I think we should totally do conspiracy theories, like 100%. How we did with Harry Potter today.
Yeah.
We could, choose one conspiracy theory, not to dive in too deep because that would take up the whole podcast, which I guess we could.
Yeah. We could just spend a whole podcast about like conspiracy theories that we're like, oh, we think this is real. Oh, like this is fiction. Fact or fiction.
Yes.
That title's already been taken though.
I think talking about the Pixar or Disney universe would be super interesting. I went through that phase in middle school. I was just like always watching like YouTube videos on like.
Sure. We could talk about YouTube. Even be like, oh, like, because I know that we both grew up watching YouTube, but like I'm more into it now than you are.
You're definitely more into it than I ever was.
We could talk about like how it has changed because they have to change with their audience that they're watching because it's different.
You
now.
know, it would be super cool.
Huh.
Okay, what would be super cool is one day to choose like someone else's, like not that either of us have made, but choose someone else's Kahoot, and we play Kahoot together.
That'd be awesome.
Just like random topics on Kahoot. That'd be so
That'd be
cool.
great. Oh, that's good. That's good.
And I think we should rate vines.
Yes. We should talk about like the whole like TikTok and Vine thing, how basically TikTok's trying to be Vine.
Can't forget Musical.ly was in there a little bit.
Sometimes I'd like to forget.
Yeah, I feel that.
And then we talked about my dating life because I got absolutely no game whatsoever, guys. Absolutely none.
I am pretty confident in my game, but I've been single since the guy I dated in high school.
I've been single for almost 22 years. Almost 22 years.
Yeah.
Because we're not counting the one guy that I dated for a week and he cheated on me 5 of the 7 days. We're not counting that.
No.
We're not counting that. And
Like,
the ones that were like 2 days long, no, we're not counting that.
No. Like, here's the thing. Even if I've talked to a guy, like, unless we actively hung out and, like, went on dates or something, like, I'm not going to count it.
Y'all, your girl hasn't held hands romantically with anybody yet, hasn't even been on a date, let alone first kiss. Like, your girl hasn't done shiitake. Let me tell you. So,
we're so different, like, in our experience. Like,
yeah.
Just because I feel like I mean, I'm single, but, like, I feel like I've got good game. If I want to be flirtatious, I can.
Like, if I'm over the phone, like, I can send some stuff and be like, oh, I sound like I got game. And then I meet them in person, I'm like, I ain't got any game.
You know, that's valid. I think that's a lot of people. Like, of course, I'm going to be more confident, like, texting things out just because, like, I can think of it rather than, like, on the spot.
For the two that I have met up, at least, I'm like, got any hobbies? No. The other ones just stood me up periodically. They were just like, period. They're like, nope, we're not coming. I'm like, oh.
Like, what that homework that we had.
Like, so, major, minor? What are you doing?
What year are you?
What year? That's literally the first question I get asked all the time when I'm on Tinder. What year are you? I'm like, I'm a junior.
It's so funny. And what I get for, like, my major is people literally always say, oh, well, not heard that one before. And I'm like, ha ha ha, yeah, that's literally what everyone says. No one else, hardly anyone majors in it. So
I get a girl trying to be in the sports industry. How fun. And I'm like, listen, I got attached immediately from some of those people because I'm like, we don't need toxic masculinity here. I don't want it.
Another thing people say is, like, when they go to talk about it again with me, they're like, wait, are you majoring in astrology? And I'm like,
No. I'm not learning about your astrological signs, dude.
Like,
I can already tell that you're bad.
The zodiac signs, there are constellations that are the zodiac signs, but that's very small compared to the rest of astrology.
We can talk about zodiac stuff because I'm not into zodiac stuff. Are you into?
No.
I only know that I'm a Taurus and that's it. Like, that's all I know.
I know I'm a Cancer and I'm supposed to be depressed all the time.
I know I'm stubborn as heck. That's all I got.
Yeah.
But
I think
considering that's all I know, I'm like, that's accurate.
I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say something. I don't remember.
It's all good.
I will think of some good topics too.
Yeah.
And I think we have a good layout for a bunch of different ones.
Yeah. And we can get the listeners, you guys, involved. with us, and they can figure out some topics that we can talk about for them. Because I know of a podcast, Smoshcast, the YouTube channel Smosh does, and they do these things called shoot dudes at the end, where people can send in anonymous things that have happened to them, where it's like, oh, okay. Like there was one where it's like this person sent was like watching this person's pet, and they accidentally kicked the hamster away. Like they kicked it and the hamster died, and they were like, your hamster ran away, dude. And at the end they're like, and I haven't told my friend to this day. I'm like
yeah,
stuff like that, be like, this person anonymously sent this.
You know what else we could do too, similar, like kind of like how they do like in newspapers, like Dear Sally, like
yes,
like advice columns. If you want advice from two questionable college students who
like to give off serotonin for everybody.
yeah, who are from small towns and are very funny, we're your girls. So
we'd like to think we're funny, at least. We might not be, but we think we're funny.
I think we're funny, and that's all that matters.
I think you're funny.
I think you're funny.
Stop it. Oh gosh. But we can even talk about like some of the stuff that we did as kids, where it's like we can't even do that now. Yeah. Because the kids these days, they're like, oh, we have like iPhones and iPads and stuff. And we're like, we had sticks in our backyard, in our imagination. That's all we had.
Pretty much.
Especially when you become aware, like as you go older, of like what's happening in the United States, because of all the stuff that's happening with like the Capitol and stuff, like storming the Capitol. We're like, we're not them, but we live in a county where it was them.
Yes.
Be like, we don't associate with them. We're just we don't claim them. Like I've made videos on my TikToks where it's like, can any other country claim me, please? Like I'll provide, I'll do anything.
Right.
And there was this one person on TikTok that I stitched, and he's like, and if you fund my small business of 3D things, I will personally buy military grade weapons and shoot America. And I stitched it. And I said, well, what if I fund this? Well, does that mean that I get a free pass and I can go somewhere else?
I remember seeing that stitch.
I was like, can I, does that mean I can stay with you if I fund it? Like, because that's a cool gadget you got there, dude. And I don't want to be bombed.
Exactly.
Be like, I don't like where I live either. America's a rough mess right now.
It really is. It's we're a pretty young country compared to like China and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. I would say we're in our terrible twos.
We're just terrible, period. We're just terrible.
We're a cranky toddler. That's what we are.
We're just cranky. We're just like cranky toddler, terrible twos. I'm like, no, we're just terrible and cranky, dude. We suck. But hopefully this is the start of a good thing with what we got going on, podcast-wise and United States-wise, even though it's going to divide a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's a different topic.
Because every president, whether it be Democratic, Republican, splits us no matter what. Because they're like, that's not how we view things, so we're not going to like them.
Pretty much.
And I don't know, with the way I voted, I'm like, I vote for the best candidate for the job, and I'm definitely not giving that person 4 more years, considering of how things went.
Yeah.
And how he handled things.
Yeah, there's a lot of generational gaps.
Yeah.
And I think, yes, like the parties separate a lot of America, but I think the generations unknowingly separate. Like
our generation is more like knowing of what's going on because we turned Georgia blue.
Do you consider yourself a millennial or a Gen Z?
I'm a zillennial. I'm in the middle. No, what I call myself is I'm an honorary member of the Black Eyed Peas. That's what I call myself.
I love that.
Oh, I've been listening to a lot of Black Eyed Peas lately, and I did not realize how much I loved all their songs. And then I was like, I remember growing up though, I didn't tell people that like they were my favorite band or anything because for some reason I was embarrassed to like them.
What? Nah, man.
I don't know why.
I burned all their songs on a CD and I put it in my dad and my mom's car and I'd blare it out on the weekends when we'd go on drives.
Yeah, I guess I thought that like, I don't know. I was afraid to like them, I guess, but their music popped. Smacked.
It still slaps today. Do you know that they're actually making music without Fergie right now?
Really?
Yeah,
Fergie,
like they're still a thing, but Fergie's not in the Black Eyed Peas anymore.
I don't know. Fergie
they're making music without her.
I don't want to say Fergie carried them, but she really added a lot to the band.
I don't know. They've got some good songs though that came out recently. Like
I haven't listened to a lot of their new stuff, so maybe I should try that out.
It came up on Spotify, and I was like, "This kind of sounds like the Black Eyed Peas." And I looked, and it was the Black Eyed Peas without Fergie, and I'm like, "What?" They're still here. I was like, "They're still here."
That's interesting.
My inner me's like, "It's my time to shine. I'm the honorary member. I can come out."
Yeah, I used to call myself like the youngest of the millennials, but I wouldn't consider myself a Gen Zer by any means.
Nah.
So there is like a weird cusp. Like
I feel like 96, 97 between 2001, 2002. I feel like that's the honorary members of the Black Eyed Peas. I feel like that's and
I'm gonna start saying that.
I just feel like because my little brother is about to turn 13 in March, like at the end of March, and we're technically in the same generation. Like we're generation this.
Age group,
yeah. And I don't see it because there's such a huge gap between 22 and 13. Like, I don't see that, you know?
To be honest, I feel like there's like, and this would have been beyond 2001, 2002. I feel there's a difference even between like the freshmen on campus.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But it's because they're Gen Zers.
Mm-hmm. They're true Gen Z. Yeah. We're like the middle kids that look at their older and younger siblings that like fighting and we're just sitting there with popcorn just like enjoying it. Like that is us.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because we don't associate with the people who ate Tide Pods, but we don't necessarily agree with all the things that the millennials do, you know?
I will say though, like if I see something like especially on like social media where Gen Z is attacking millennials, I kind of get offended because I do a lot of stuff that millennials do because I grew up with like an older sibling and like older cousin who are millennials, and I look up to a lot of what they do, so I mimic a lot of what they do.
I had older cousins that I looked up to, so I was in the same exact position.
Exactly. They'll say something about like millennials, and I'm like, I'm offended right now, even though like I'm not really.
Yeah, and then there's people that are like, oh, only 90s kids will remember that, and they were born like our age, like 99, 2000, and then the 2002 kids are like, we remember this. Like,
yeah, like we also grew up in the early 2000s. Like, the thing is, even if you were born in 95, like you're barely gonna remember 98, 99. You didn't grow up in the 90s either.
Yeah, I don't consider myself growing up in the 90s because I was born in 99, so.
I was born in the 90s.
Yeah, I was born in the 90s. Didn't grow up in the 90s. Grew up in the thousands.
Really right at the end of, like, I'm in the second half of the year.
Yeah, I was at the barely end of the first half.
Yeah. And there's people like Noah, born December 1st, right before the turn of the century.
Bless his heart. He's like, yeah, I was born in the 90s. And they're like, no, you're not. You're this age. And he's like, no, I was born December 1st, 99. I was literally born in the 90s.
What's funny is we're going to be able, if people who were born the same year as us, if we survive up into older age, we could potentially live in 3 different centuries.
That's crazy, don't you think?
Yeah, because like we've lived in 2 different millennia. Yeah. We've lived in 3 different decades. And we were just born in 99.
Yeah. We've been through a lot.
Already.
Yeah. And like we survived 2 disasters now with 9/11 at the beginning of our lives, and then like a whole global pandemic now.
Yeah.
And we're not even through it yet. Sad to say. So
might be on campus in the fall.
Yeah. We're expected to be on campus, which is, we'll see how long that lasts.
I'm really hoping so, because it'll be our senior year.
And it sucks for the people like whose senior year was this year. Like, that just absolutely broke my heart for them, because nobody. And then there was people who were in groups that didn't do the summer program. They did it online, so they weren't allowed to go on campus at all. And I'm like, that's not what groups intended for it to happen. Like, you're supposed to like get out and meet people, view campus, all that stuff.
I just feel bad for everyone who's a freshman this year. Like,
this is not how college is like.
No, freshman year was like, I didn't like my sophomore year. I was dealing with a lot of like really hard classes, so I didn't have much of a social life. But like my freshman year was so much fun. Like, I met so many people. I would not know, like, I don't know if I would be even going to IU if I didn't have that same freshman year, just because it was like so influential.
Yeah. Summer going into freshman year, that whole groups program changed my mind completely. I was like, I am going here and we're going to have fun. And then I ended up having mold in my dorm. But I got paid the $3,000. So I was
Lucky you.
Oh, did you not get it?
No.
You just got the air purifier?
We didn't even get an air purifier.
Wait, which dorm were you staying in?
Theater.
Oh, no.
We were the third worst.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it wasn't as bad as McNutt.
Yeah.
But there was still a lot of mold.
In our vents and in our ceiling. And we
had it in our vents too. And we had it in our cupboards and stuff.
That was the worst part. It was on our bottom floor. Like, we were on the bottom floor. We're ground floor. We had it in our vents. We had it in our ceiling. And then we had it in our closet. Like, our closet smelled weird. And I'm allergic to mold.
Yeah.
I'm allergic.
We had it in our closet too. And like,
you could have
in our AC unit.
I got it on my favorite NASA t-shirt, like long sleeve shirt. And I was so upset.
But at least you could buy a new one with the $3,000.
I couldn't find the design anywhere else.
Aw.
Yeah. I got it at the Target too, and I was like, oh, I'll just go back to Target. They were all sold out.
Check eBay. I'm sure someone's wanting to sell.
I should have gone to eBay a few years ago.
Someone on Depop might have it.
Maybe. Who knows? And then we could just talk about like how different Bloomington is than Crawford County is, because Crawford County has little to nothing compared to what Bloomington has, you know?
Yeah. I love Bloomington.
Oh, same. I don't have to drive an hour to get to the nearest fast food.
Yeah.
I over-exaggerated, but still 30 minutes is a long drive to get to like the nearest fast food place.
Unless you went Subway.
Yeah. Gas station, Subway. Whose first instinct is like, you know what? I want fast food. I'm gonna go to a gas station and get Subway.
Nobody.
It still tasted good. So on game days, I'd still go there sometimes and eat. But like, I wish we had more options.
Yeah.
Like that sucked.
I think we did a great, wide range of topics today.
We did. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. All right. And I'm excited for AJ's No Shame show.
AJ's No Shame, yeah. I'm excited for what this could do. And do you want me to send you this recording, just in case?
If you want to, you know what we should do? We should, like, if you want, you can upload it to Google Drive and, like, create a new folder, and we can just share the folder and have stuff in that.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, because I have a folder already with, like, all of our, like, the podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, lists that I have, and then, like, with the Blockbuster and the counterfeit stuff. Like, I did all that. Oh, that was great. I loved today's.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.
Probably like 3 viewers.
Maybe 1 on a good day.
The only reason I said 3 is because Miss Holly and maybe our mothers.
Maybe. I don't even know if my mom would even listen to this. But Mama Tanya, if you're listening to this, hi, I love you. Thank you for everything you've done.
Yeah, same, Mom.
Shout out to Nan and Tanya, dude.
Oh, yes. Well, it's been a wrap.
Yeah. This was weird because we talked about like something like very off topic, and then we just remember we're doing this podcast. We're like, oh yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this is recording.
Yeah. But sometimes like the best like podcasts, they just talk to each other and like they just go off script and like they just talk about.
I think our casual tone, like we can bounce off each other really well. So
For sure. According to our zodiac signs. That's how it works. No, like legit, like I say that jokingly, but I saw that today in a TikTok legit that Cancers and Tauruses are like a good like friendship duo.
That's funny.
I was like, is that like hinting to like our podcast doing good?
Maybe.
And
we're like cousins, so
yeah, we're related to the viewers. Blood. We're cousins, dude.
Yes.
We're cousins, dude. We're not cousins, dude.
Oh
God. I hope that any listener has the same humor as us. Because if not, it's going to be
a bad time.
Like, it's not going to end well.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to upload this just to see like how it listens with us doing it over Zoom. Because sometimes it's off.
And if push comes to shove, since the weather has gotten nicer, maybe we can
meet up in person.
Yeah.
And like do it on our phone or something.
It might be better.
Yeah. And then we could like still do like our laptop and stuff, like just recording like on a camera on our laptop and just have that for YouTube. Yeah, we're also gonna be on YouTube, guys, for the visual.
This is where you plug our social media.
All right, we got a whole YouTube channel. It's gonna be under my personal one as of right now because I can't change it due to I use limitations on it. So it's gonna be on my personal YouTube channel at Josie Rozier. That's Roser for the people, because my last name is very hard for people, even though because it's pronounced Rozier, like with an H, but people say Rosser.
Or even kind of like with some people might think it's like a Z.
Yeah, JosieRoser for the people who are still listening. And we both have Instas. Mine's at JoRo2440. Alexis's is at?
It's like A_Shelton7.
Yeah, and we're both on TikTok.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember what my username is. I think
it's the same as my Instagram.
I think mine is too.
All right. So we got all that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Alexis has Twitter, but I have Twitter. I'm not going to give you that. That's a scavenger hunt for you guys to do.
Right.
I think I only have one tweet, and it was so dumb. It was nobody, and then it said me at 3 a.m. and it was just me thinking, do the Quidditch players in Harry Potter have varsity robes instead of varsity jackets?
And with that note,
we end our podcast. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for more of this serotonin.
Yes.
All right. And now I gotta stop recording.